What's good, everybody? It's when I come back at you on the video. So with this video, I wanted to talk about your journey towards your goals, your dreams, right? And hopefully this video gives you a little bit of motivation or gives you that push forward, right? Because this video, I want to deliver you a message, right? Don't be discouraged along your journey. Now, I say this because people can have those goals or those dreams that seem so very far away from where they're at right now. And that can seem scary. That can seem as though they'll never get there, that it'll never happen, right? That, it'll just take too long. And so it can be easy for someone to feel bad about themselves. Someone can think that, oh, well, maybe my goals are too far, maybe my dreams are not possible for me to hit. And I'm here to tell you to don't be discouraged along this journey, because what you need to understand is, of course, you have your dream, right? And that dream, that goal is at a destination. When you get to that destination, of course, you'll be happy. You'll be proud of yourself. But then oftentimes being at that new destination, you're going to set yourself another goal, and a goal that's even further, a dream that's even bigger, right? And so you arrive at that destination, but then you realize that you're now on a new journey. So effectively, what I'm trying to say is that you're always going to be a journeyman your entire life, right? You're always going to be a journeyman, because right now you're on a journey towards a goal, towards a dream. And then once you accomplish that, you're going to be on another journey and another journey. And that's what keeps life exciting. That's what makes life fun, when we're always going after something. And so when you're on your journey, that is when you're supposed to be the most excited, when you're supposed to be filled with the most joy, because you're working towards something, you're building towards your dream. And if something is truly your dream, if you really, really, really wanted something, you've been passionate about accomplishing something, or, arriving somewhere, then you working towards that should put a smile on your face. You should be ecstatic, because you know what it is that you're doing. You know the purpose behind it and the meaning behind it. And it should fill you up with purpose, working towards that, right? Each and every day, or at whatever pace you're going after, right? I think one of the reasons that people get discouraged is, one, because they think about the time. They think, oh, I need to hit this goal or arrive at this dream at X time in a couple months or a year. And then if they feel as though the progress that they made hasn't gotten them anywhere near or remotely close to where it is that they want to go, that's when they begin feeling bad. But what you need to understand is, if something is actually your dream, then that means that it's worthwhile for you to work towards it. That means that you would feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment for arriving there. So you should still feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment while doing it, because it is still meaningful work. And you have to understand that the dream is not necessarily the destination. It's actually the journey, because while you're on the journey, you're actually doing the thing that you dream of, right? You're actually going through the motions of the dream to get to the destination. If we use an example, right, if we're talking about the game of basketball, and someone's dream is to one day hoist up the trophy and be considered an NBA champion, the journey, like the champion, being champion is the destination, but the journey of getting there is playing basketball. It is practicing. It is working out. It is having, those bonding sessions with your teammates. That is all part of the journey, and that is what should fill you up with joy, and you should appreciate each and every day, because without the journey, you wouldn't arrive at the destination. So you should feel a sense of joy and fulfillment and purpose going through the journey. And in your journey, whatever it is, whether it's your corporate journey, whether it's YouTube journey right here on YouTube and you're a small content creator, whatever your journey is, it should be enjoyable. It should be fun. And you shouldn't necessarily just be focused on the time, and that it has to be hit, like that on this day, on this benchmark needs to be hit on this day, or else I'm failing, or like I need to already have arrived and won on this day, right? You don't know if that day is the right day for you, right? And you don't know if the day you decide to put it down, that the next day was going to be the day where you were supposed to win. You'll never know that, because you've given up, right? Don't be discouraged along your journey. And one of the reasons, of course, like I mentioned earlier, is the time aspect. It's people wanting things to be done or arriving at different places at specific times, right? And so they'll look at the time and say, "Oh, I've done it for X amount of time and I'm not seeing results." If this is your dream to do this and to have this be part of your lifestyle from now to the rest of your life, why are you only looking at it from a couple weeks or a couple months window and saying, "Oh, I need to have one, or else this isn't working out"? If it's your dream, it's meant to be part of your life, then that means you need to give it as much time that it needs for you to get to where it is that you're going, right? Appreciate it all. The other reason why people focus on the time element is because they don't actually believe that what they ask for has been given to them, right? One of my favorite books is called Ask and It Is Given, and from Abraham Hicks. And what it says in the book is basically you can ask the universe for something, right? That is step one. Step two is that step two is not your work. It's that the universe gives you and delivers you what you ask for immediately at the snap of a finger. And the third step is for you to allow it in, right? It's for you to believe that it's been given to you and operate as though it is already done. That is the other reason why people focus on time, because they don't believe that what they've asked for has actually been given to them, right? Some people may have the dream of one day hitting the goal of having 1 million subscribers on YouTube, right? Absolutely major milestone, right? Shout out to anyone who's done that or is able to reach that milestone, right? Some people believe that they can't tap into that energy unless they've reached 1 million subscribers on YouTube. But what they don't understand is that they have it backwards, right? In order for you to hit that 1 million subscriber milestone on YouTube, you need to show up as the content creator that already has 1 million subscribers. You need to show up as the person that you want to become. The person, create the image of that person or whatever it is that you want and show up as that. That is the big difference, right? If we relate this to basketball, if you want to become an NBA champion and be the best in the world at the game of basketball, you need to show up as the best player in the world before you've won, right? To then be able to have a chance at winning the title. You don't show up as the 15th person on the bench and then say, "I want to win a title," right? You need to show up at if one day your dream is to become the CEO of a company, even if right now you're working as a custodian, you need to show up with your head held high, feeling as though you are already the CEO, right? If you want to be a star musician, a star actor, you need to show up as that person so that everything else can begin flowing to you, right? You need to show up as that. So oftentimes that is why people focus on the time so much, because they say, "Oh, I'll give this X amount of time and this needs to happen within this window of time, otherwise it's not working." You're not that smart to be able to determine that, because the universe, there's so many other variables happening behind the scenes and so many events aligning itself up that you're not aware of, that your senses can't pick up. You're not smart enough to say, "Oh, well, this is the best time," or "this needs to happen at this time." Because something can be delivered to you so perfectly at the right time that is better than anything you could have ever imagined, right? The sequence of events, it can unfold for you so perfectly, better than you could have ever imagined. And that is when you have belief in a higher power working. But me personally, that's why I believe people get discouraged, and oftentimes is because of the time when they feel something is taking too long. Well, if you truly believe that at the snap of a finger, the moment that you asked, it was already given to you, if you truly believe that, you would not be worried about the time. Time would actually be irrelevant. Why? Because the gift that you've been asking for, the goal, the dream that you've been praying for, has already been given to you. You have it, right? You've become it. So then there's no longer a time element. And regardless, in a lot of books that I'm reading, right, they often talk about time being an illusion anyways. And they say that because It's an illusion because the present is all that you will ever have, because the present is all that you can ever control, right? The past has already happened, the future has yet to happen, and the only moment of time that we will only ever have access to from now forever is the present moments. Everything only ever happens in the present moment. So if you can step into that new person, that new energy, step into that goal, that dream now in this moment right now, you're not worried about the time. And since it's already happened, right? If you believe it's already happened, if it's happened in your mind, then you won't be needing to look for the how. You won't be needing to look for an explanation. How is it going to unfold for me? When is it going to unfold for me? It already happened. So I'm not worried about the how or the when or the details in between. I'm not worried about the time or the details in between, because in my mind, it already happened. Right? Is this making sense? This is why you shouldn't get discouraged along your journey, right? Oftentimes people get discouraged because they're praying for this goal, they're praying for this dream to happen, rather than stepping into what that looks like if it's already been given to you, right? Me, I'm confident that this YouTube channel is going to continue growing and that I'm going to continue working towards my goals, my dream, my desire, my mission, because I'm showing up and stepping into what the end result person looks like, what that polished version of Joel looks like, right? The large YouTube channel, the large content creator, the entrepreneur Joel looks like. I'm stepping into that person, into that energy right now. So I'm not worried if I put out a video and it has 1 views, 2 views, 3 views. I'm not looking at that, because from what I see, from where I'm at right now, that's not an accurate reflection. Whatever view count it says, right? That's not an accurate reflection of who I am. And it may take time for the rest of the world around you to catch up to who you are. But when you step into that person, that's when there's no gap in time anymore. That's when you're not thinking about how long it's going to take for XYZ event to happen. It's already happened. You are that person. You are the CEO. You are that famous musician, right? Rather than viewing yourself as just a small, tiny artist, right, that's insecure about their music. If you step into becoming that star musician, you step into that star version of you, confidence will exude from you. You'll know when you have something good, when you create that hit song, right? You'll know it. You'll have supreme confidence in yourself and your ability. Things will feel as though they're coming easily and effortlessly to you, because now you've tapped into a new energy. You're no longer feeling sorry for yourself. You're no longer worried or concerned or anxious. You're actually just having fun, because you're tapped into that version of you, that superstar version of you, right? So this is how you avoid being discouraged along your journey, right? By creating what that end goal vision looks like and stepping into that, right? Bringing excitement, having the right attitude. It's not going to help you if the entire time you're just feeling sorry for yourself or you're just feeling bad. No one has ever had their best ideas feeling bad for themselves, right? People have had their best ideas being excited, right? Working towards their dream, right? When that good idea comes, writing it down on paper or taking action on whatever comes to mind. That's when we're at our best. And we're also at our best on our journey, because if the destination is a worthwhile goal or worthwhile dream, then the journey should be a worthwhile journey. So it should be fun along the way for you to get there, because you're always going to be a journeyman your entire life. So you might as well just get comfortable being a journeyman, right? Life is just not about getting to this destination and then the next one and the next one, and then all the time in between the destinations you're unhappy, right? Like that's not the point of life. You want these things, you want to arrive at these destinations because you believe that it'll bring you joy and fulfillment. So enjoy the steps along the way, enjoy the journey. It's supposed to be fun. If everything were to be immediately given to you, I'm talking about like in the physical world, right? Because it can take some time for the physical world to catch up, right? As far as manifestation goes. But like, if let's just say at the snap of a finger, anything I could ever want was given to me in this moment right now in the physical world, then nothing would ever feel or be meaningful, because I can just wish for anything, right? But there's going to be some things in life that may take time for it to unfold for you, and or you may have to put in the work to obtain or receive it. And in those cases, right, if that were to happen, then that's something that you can appreciate in your life. Right? You want to have things in your life that you appreciate. You don't want to eat every meal that you're going to eat for the rest of your life, right? You don't want to eat it all in one sitting. You want to space it out, right? You want to have a great meal today, and then a great meal tomorrow, and then a great meal every day for the rest of your life. You don't want to have all the food that you're going to eat for the rest of your life in one sitting as a buffet, right? Because then you're not actually going to enjoy it. So the journey is supposed to be fun, right? You're not supposed to be just going through the journey frustrated and angry because your dream hasn't happened yet and it's been 2 weeks and you're not where you want to be and you're behind schedule, right? Like, the journey is supposed to be fun. When you're working towards the destination, you're supposed to have the right attitude. You're supposed to have fun and accept your journey, however much time it's going to take, all of the roller coasters of emotion or the events that happen. Accept it all because it's meant to be part of your journey, which is unique to you. Embrace it all because it'll make the journey to the destination meaningful, and you would appreciate it, and you'll have a lot of fun along the way. So this video here, once again, don't be discouraged along your journey towards your goals and your dreams, because it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable, right? And worry less about the time, because oftentimes that is the biggest focus that people have, right? They have goals and they put a timestamp on it that it has to happen at a certain time, and you don't know if that time is the best for you. You don't know if additional series of events needs to happen before that goal, that dream has been given to you in the physical world. But also, people have a timestamp because they don't believe, they're accepting that that dream hasn't arrived, that the goal hasn't been achieved yet. If you operate and live from the end goal in mind, then things will happen a lot faster for you because in your mind it's already done. And so when the events are unfolding, you're not worried about how it's going to happen. You're not worried about all the logistics, which is not your job anyways. So it makes your life easier because you're not fixated on that. And then when the details and the logistics do align for you, then you'll be able to see how it all unfolded for you. So that is pretty much my 2 cents on that. Don't be discouraged. Have the right attitude along the way, and trust me, everything will work out just fine, and you will be fine. So that wraps up the video. If you enjoyed the video, do leave a like and subscribe, as we are on the road to 100 subscriber, guys. So once again, this is Joel, and I'm out. See you guys for the next video.